Okay, spoiler alert, there is no drone footage in this episode. Okay, so we got 10 minutes. Here we go, episode 2 of my vlog. Today, we're talking about something that is very vloggy. In other words, something that happened very specifically to me today. So let's rewind a bit and give you a little bit of background. This little guy, DJI Mavic Pro, has been out for a long time now. It's been out for a couple months. Very cool little drone that folds up. DJI released this thing a couple months ago. And you can listen to everything in my unboxing video about how it took a long time for the thing to arrive. There was all these delays. It promised to be the coolest drone ever, but then it took a long time to arrive. And then finally it arrived, which was great. So it came in December and I got it. And I mean, I'm very lucky to be holding this right now. It's very, very cool. I'll tell you where I'm unlucky though. As you know, guys, from episode 1 and whatever in general, I live in Ottawa. So when I got the drone in in December, you can imagine the main problem being the weather. This is not that cheap. I mean, relatively speaking, yes it is, but I mean, it is still a $1,300 device. It's my first drone I've ever owned, and I wasn't gonna ruin it the first time I flew it. I didn't want to be too hasty getting it out there, and then all of a sudden, boom, it breaks. I mean, I've heard these stories about, drones crashing. I've heard people losing their drones, all this stuff like that, right? I was very disciplined. I left it in its box. I mean, I opened it and I kind of played around with it, but I basically put it on a box, put it on a shelf, and it's just been sitting on a shelf for months now, just waiting for the weather to be just right. So I waited patiently, and then a couple of weeks ago in Canada, they introduced some new drone laws. So this was kind of not great. I totally get where the drone laws are coming from, and to be honest, as a citizen, I do support the intent. I mean, if these drones were allowed to just fly anywhere, I mean, you have privacy issues, obviously, you have safety issues. Definitely not against that. It's more just annoying for me because I've had this drone for so long and I wanted to fly it, and before I even got a chance to fly it, all these laws were introduced. Let me run through a couple of these laws with you guys. You can fly anywhere within 9 kilometers of where planes can take off. So I live relatively close, not super close, but like not too far from an airport actually. A 9-kilometer radius covers a pretty big chunk of that. There's a lot of parks and stuff near the airport, and so that kind of stuff, it's off limits now. You can only fly to a maximum altitude of 90 meters. The drone has to be visible in sight. It has to be only maximum of 500 meters from you. And there's other things too, like you can't be 75 meters from basically anything. So like buildings, people, trees, and all this stuff. So it makes it really hard to do some really cool shots. I mean, I picture overhead shots, of buildings when you're flying above the buildings and you have this top-down view of the buildings. I don't think that's going to be possible anymore. So there's all these laws, and again, not against where they're coming from, but yeah, it's kind of annoying for someone who hasn't flown a drone. So that's the first thing, is that these laws were introduced, and I mean, it's funny too because they have a little kind of pamphlet. Transport Canada has this little pamphlet that they printed, say, here are all the laws, and 2 of the pictures have a DJI Mavic Pro in them. So that's too bad. I mean, I am doing it half recreational, half work, so maybe for work I can look into the permits and stuff like that and see what's going on there. So it's unfortunate that these laws are in place, but you know what? To be 100% honest, I'm not actually fundamentally against these laws. It's just annoying because I've been wanting to fly this thing for a long time and it's been grounded now for a couple months. All that aside, what I was going to do today actually was fly the drone for the very first time. Today in Ottawa, it was 5, 6, 7 degrees and the sun was coming out, and I actually took the day off today. Everything was lining up properly. I turned on the propellers for the first time today and things looked really cool, and I was gonna go fly this thing. I picked up my wife. We were gonna go to the Arboretum actually in Ottawa, and it turns out the Arboretum was closed today, so I couldn't even do that. And that being said, it looked really windy, and again, it just didn't go according to plan. So it's been now 4 months I've owned a DJI Mavic Pro and have still not flown it. This is all to say I'm preparing to fly this thing eventually, and I do hope to have some drone footage up, probably on the vlog actually, get some really cool shots there. But yeah, as it stands right now, you know, we are grounded. I do again want to thank everybody for the you know, a little bit of support that I've gotten already on episode 1. Again, leave comments. Let me know what you want to let me know what you want to hear about. I want to say that I've felt a reinvigoration in myself just by doing the vlog. So very happy to do that. So I guess that's it for episode 2.